Do I live in this jacket? I do. I have other colors, but makeup doesn't show up on brown. Hides all of the makeup that gets all over me when I'm filming. Today, we are doing a look. I don't want to say affordable because that's a big term, but we're gonna, what is affordable to some might not be to others, but what I'm doing something that's a little bit more accessible. So these are going to be products that you could get at Walmart, CVS, Walgreens, a little bit more accessible because I have other brands that are also technically, and I'm just going to do quotations, affordable. But they're a little bit harder to get because 𝗕𝗿𝘂𝘂𝘁𝗄 has $9 eyeshadows, but then sometimes they're hard to find. They're not sold in stores. So I want to do products that you can just run down the street and grab. Also, I got a little wild today, and instead of cereal, I had oatmeal, and not the quick cook kind, the 5-minute real oats. It was delicious. It was wonderful. So I'm going to start with my green primer, and I absolutely love this one, and this one does not contain niacinamide. Now, I'm not going to say that's my favorite green corrector. My absolute favorite is the one from 𝗕𝗿𝘂𝘂𝘁𝗶𝗹𝘀, but that one is spicier priced, but you're going to see this one works beautifully. And also the more expensive one, the 𝗕𝗿𝘂𝘂𝘁𝗃 does have niacinamide, and I feel like I've had a few of you say that you have a sensitivity to niacinamide, and a few of us are seeing that right now. So I just have it on the back of my hand, and I'm just going to put this only where I have redness. And why we're going to use this is because this can actually speed up the process and help us use less concealer, less foundation. So we'll go ahead and put this on right now. But again, this is where I have redness. I have redness around my nose and on my cheeks. And right now I have a few little blimmies. We'll tap a little on top, but we're gonna grab a brush. Now, if you don't have redness, this is a step that you're definitely gonna wanna skip. This is if you have redness. And this just helps us wear less foundation and concealer, like I said, later. And this brush is coming soon. This is our D1. D stands for double-ended. All right, nice. See what a difference that already makes? And I'm using a brush that's more dense to do this. The denser your brush, the more pigment you're gonna get, the more coverage. Now we're gonna let that sit and completely dry down. We're gonna move on to eyes. That's also a really good step. Kind of applying this, if we put foundation and concealer on top of this, it could mix in. So you want these types of correctors to completely dry down. So it's a good time. We're gonna hop over to our eyes. Now, I really like this L'Oreal eyeshadow stick. And one of the reasons I do like it, now you could look for any kind of affordable shadow stick, but I do like this new formula. And obviously it's easy to access, but I like it because you see how it's basically my skin tone. Now, we're all gonna be a different skin tone, I understand that, but the tip here is to try to find, look how nice that is, try to find a shadow stick that is very close to your skin tone. And I feel like in this day and age, there's so many options, and this one is not a shimmer, it's just gonna be a matte. And I'm using the side of my brush to tap it in. In fact, this particular shade reminds me so much of the Armani. Now, I'm also letting you know that there's not a base underneath here, okay? We don't want a base underneath the stick. We're actually using the stick as the base. So if we were to put a primer underneath this, we could change the formula, because anytime you have something that goes from a cream to set, not cream to powder, cream to set, you don't want to change that formula. So we don't want anything underneath here. And this is, I'm also going to do a look that's a little bit more everyday, as opposed to the last two looks that I did, which take a little bit more effort. Something that you might want to wear to work, depending on your job. Some of us can be very artistic at our jobs. My job, in fact. Now we're gonna keep this out because we'll put it underneath here, but we'll get our concealer and stuff on. This one's totally optional, but I want to give options. I love these Revlon quad shadows. I love them so much. I love them. I was using them nonstop, but I'm always switching it up because there was a lot of palette releases, and that's kind of what we were having to check out. For right now, I don't want to get wild, and I know that I will. So I'm just going to add a hair of definition with this shade on the outer part of my eye. Do you see how nicely pigmented they are? We'll do a liner too, because I want to give options of my current fave liners that are more affordable. And just that little bit. See how that adds lift? And then if you just take it right out of the fold of hair, this is really good for hooded eyes. Now let me explain the fold. Now I will say, there's a reason that I have a brush brand, and that's because tools actually make a difference. They make a world of difference. So I'm loving this brush, especially for hooded eyes, because you're able to come at an angle. And I know I still have a lot of lid space, but imagine that I didn't. I'll just kind of make it big. And when I'm talking coming out of the fold, hang on, that's a little uncomfortable, but I can do it. So just imagine you're adding it right here at the lash line. You're just gonna push your lashes down. So easy. And the brush, because it's at an angle and you're using the side of it, if you have hooded eyes, this brush is an absolute must. It's gonna change. And I did not mean for that to rhyme, but it's gonna change the way you do your eye makeup. Now let's talk about coming out of the fold. This isn't necessary, but I'm just gonna teach you a little bit. And again, the brush is perfect for this because look, it's laying on the lash line and then it's coming out of the fold. Here's the fold, okay, right? Imagine that all of that is covering my lid space. If we just kind of bring this shadow, I was saying if we just come at an angle, see how that is? I wanna show you there, that's how we're going, and just press. And just by adding this shadow upwards, just a little bit on this outer part, it's going to absolutely lift your eye, and it just creates the illusion of a little bit larger eye and a little bit more angled upwards. So, because I know that sometimes we struggle with a wing when we have a hooded eye. I'm picking up a little bit more of the eyeshadow. So this is a really great option because you're shading the eye, and that's what eyeshadow does. It reshapes the eye. But this brush, you will love this brush if you have hooded eyes, period. All right, short in on the lash line. See that cat hair? Just gonna show you again, and all I'm doing is pressing. You're kind of just stamping the shape. And when it starts to come out of that fold just a little bit, that's where we get our lift. Now we're gonna soften it. And we can even soften it more with a fluffier brush. We'll get there in just a second. And then you see all that. Isn't that interesting? And then you just tap and just kind of connect the two ever so lightly. You can even push it in there, and if you have to, just tilt your head back just to lightly connect, because I don't want you to worry too much about what it looks like shut, because we don't walk around talking like this. We walk around like this and we talk. And then if it starts to turn into a little bit more of a nighttime look, all we'd have to do, I have my powder, okay, I'm going to use my Fit Me powder. It's still one of my favorite affordable powders, okay? No rest in this neighborhood. When I tell you, just a second ago they were roofing, it rained, they stopped the roofing, not on my roof, okay, just the neighbor's roof, which I don't mind, but now there's a leaf blower. This neighborhood has fun, and you should see our yards. Delicious. Anyways, I was saying, if it starts to get a little too nighttime, a little too smoky, we're gonna take that Fit Me powder. I'm using the shade Fair, yes, Fair Light. All right, and then all we have to do is start on our brow bone, and this is gonna tame it because it's very close to my skin tone. And anytime you have a powder close to your skin tone, and you can use whatever you have, okay? But the key is just using a powder close to your skin tone. That's gonna tame it. I'm gonna use a little extra. Now we're back into daytime territory, but we're able to kind of shape the eye a little bit. See the difference? Nice. I feel like to keep this not so fancy and just trying to keep it a little bit more daytime work, I do want to use the other shades, but I know the moment that I get into these, this is going to turn into a full glam. So I'll just kind of swatch these for you really quickly. I'll swatch them up here. Not as much redness. When I tell you, these shadows are no joke. For something I can just grab at CVS, and that's where I bought these, on another level. I love them. Now, if I'm talking affordable eyeliner, something I could just go grab really quickly. I know that Walgreens, I saw this at Walgreens. I really love the NYX one. I've had a couple of these and they do not fray. It's going to be a brush tip There's a brown one, but if you're wanting black, and if you can find this collab, I know it has duochrome on the other end. I'm trying not to. Oh my gosh, the duochrome is so good in these though. It's so good. Look at that. So that way it's there. It's the, it's red, but if I can't get the light to not show it as green. Can you see it on there? No, because if I turned it this way, if I had the opposite, it's absolutely green. It's perfectly duochrome, but because I have so much light, but we're not getting into that because we're not even going to use it. There you can kind of see the green. Beside the point. I love it. But that all being said, I love this end. Oh my goodness, it's so good. We'll use the brown today, and the brown that I'm going to be using is called Dark Chocolate. Definitely want to give it a nice little shake. And liner is completely optional. We could leave it the way that it is and just throw mascara on, but I want to give you options for if you do love liquid liner as much as I do. I love this one. And we don't even have to do a big wing. Notice how I'm using the side of it to go across my lash line. Also notice that I'm moving my head when I do it, okay? Because I'm able to reach different areas a lot easier if I just use the side of it. But also, don't yap and do this. Now I'm gonna come from underneath here, just to really get in the lash line. There, we'll call that good enough. Now, tools are always gonna be the hardest thing I find to compromise on. So I have to use my 𝗕𝗿𝘂𝘀𝗵𝗲𝘀 lash curler. I love it. I've used it for years, and I've used all of the lash curlers. 𝗕𝗿𝗂𝘀𝗵𝗲𝘀. I've used obviously ones from 𝗕𝗵𝗄, just every level, every tier, and this one, the way that it hugs the lashes, the way that it actually holds curl. I don't heat it up or anything like that. I just curl my lashes and it actually lasts, and it never ever damages my lashes. I've been using this one for I don't even know how many years. So I currently absolutely love the Maybelline Firework Mascara. And I know a few of you purchased it and you're having issues getting it off. I use a cleansing balm, okay? You get it in there, you work it in first, then you add a little water, emulsify, continue to work it in, rinse it, makeup eraser, game changer. Y'all, I have to do so many, put it on, take it off, put it on, take it off. I swear by that 𝗕𝗿𝗄𝑚 cleansing balm. Yes, I did have a partnership with them. Do I have a partnership and now? No. It would say add. If you don't have that cleansing balm and a makeup eraser, you're not living makeup life right. Game changer. But I say that because a lot of you were saying you're having a hard time. I don't use the waterproof version, but today I'm going to use a waterproof mascara, and I'm going to show you one of my other favorite mascaras that is affordable, and it's actually also Maybelline. This was my favorite Maybelline mascara before Firework, and I still love this one, but this one gives kind of a little bit more of a daytime look. Well, to me, we're all different. But I do like the waterproof version of this, and the reason why is because it holds curl, and also I'm using brownish black. This is the one that I used to use. I love this one, and you know what? Maybelline knows how to make a mascara. All right, let's go in with it. You can see it's definitely a brownish black. It's not a pitch black. And then I'm just gonna roll it through a couple times. I love the wand. It gives floof and definition, and since it's waterproof, while we reach for waterproof, and if we use cleansing balm, we don't even have to think about it. But while we reach for the waterproof, is it actually, as it dries, it holds curl so nicely. I love this mascara. Perfect. All right, we're gonna move on to complexion. So one of my all-time favorites is my Revlon Color Stay. They also have a combination oily version. This is the Balance to Dry. Absolutely love. Y'all have seen me use this for I don't even know how many years. I love it. But I'm testing this one right now. So we're gonna use the CoverGirl, but if I was to just automatically recommend you an affordable go grab it right now foundation, it would be this one, because there's a version for technically four different skin types. So this one has never let me down. I love this one. So like I said, I've been testing this one. I've only worn it one time and I liked it. I was able to wear it. It did wear absolutely beautifully on me, no issues, but let's keep trying it. We're gonna keep trying it. Let's give it a really nice shake. I'm excited. I hope I really like this one. So I don't know if y'all remember, but remember the CoverGirl one in the triangle? It's actually on the back. Remember that triangle packaging? This is it. I like glass bottles, I really do. But now it's in the plastic. I'm not upset about it. And don't be frightened. This is a really good tip. Ooh, that match down there. Don't be frightened when you put on a green corrector and then you put your foundation on and it looks scary. Remember, it's kind of competing with that. It's not going to make sense since it's dried, but you're seeing that contrast. Ooh, that looks good. One thing about these more affordable brands is there's always really nice pink undertones for me. It's so funny because the higher end brands are the ones where I struggle to find an undertone. So it's interesting. I like it. I really like this foundation so far. This feels like a foundation I would reach for before I'd reach for some of the high end ones that have launched recently. Again, I don't want us to run out and grab it. That's why I gave you the Revlon option, because that one I highly recommend. That one has my complete seal of approval. I've had it for years. But this new reformulation, I'm still testing. I will say I was able to wear it yesterday for a long time. I think over 8 hours, definitely 8 hours. But it wore perfectly. And this match, delightful. And then let's melt it into the forehead. I'm using the C42 for this. I almost feel like it's putting on a filter. That's what it looks like. It's really blurring. I might have a new favorite foundation. I hope so. Wouldn't that be amazing? And then we'll put our C42 through here and then finish it up. I have a little bit here on the back of my hand, nice and smooth. Put a little extra on my cheeks. So I have on my concealer, I was recording and then it stopped. So I kind of wipe it off and I'm just kind of using the applicator. This is from L'Oreal. I've used this concealer. I can recommend it. It's really nice. I like how much pigment is in here. That being said, it's really hard for me to find a shade that's as perfect as my Natasha Denona concealer. That is just one of my holy grails. But listen, to kind of adjust this and add a little bit more pink, this is something that's very easily accessible, and it's the pink shade. And I'm going to use this not really as a brightener, and I'm also not going to need a whole lot of it. I'm going to use it to correct my concealer. This shade is actually going to darken it a little bit, and it's also going to add the pink that my undertone needs. And I'm just going to mix it in here. I'm using a C30. And you can already see it start to mix and change color a little bit. And this might look like a lot, but that just, I was saying, you can just see how pigmented the concealer is. Now, ooh, look at that difference. But what happened here is, this is my winter shade and it's absolutely perfect on me, but I'm a little bit more tan right now. So that's why I'm having to do this. But having a pink corrector, no matter your skin, your undertone, pink will normally brighten. It's more about your skin tone. So undertone, don't think of it as much. Even though you might have a warmer undertone, pink can just brighten your under eye. You just put it on top of what you normally wear. But right now I'm using this as a mixer. But as your skin tone, which I'm light medium skin tone, this color pink could start to get a little bit too light and could leave a cast if you have a skin tone after that, any deeper than that. So it's just an idea, but makeup really doesn't have rules. It just kind of has little guidelines, if you will. So if you do have a deeper skin tone and you love to brighten with pink, amazing. But it's just kind of an idea. I don't want you to have a very deep skin tone and try to use this shade of pink, it could be a little too much of a white base. All right, let's just start to blend this out. This concealer is amazing though. I wish I had my summer shade. I literally almost went and bought it, but then we couldn't get out because the roofers next door. It was a whole fun little episode. So we just make this work. That looks amazing. Nice and bright, but not leaving a cast, not turning gray. Plus our powder has a little bit of my skin tone in it. So it's gonna help balance even more. I don't even know how many of these are left. Not many. These are probably my favorite drugstore blushes at the moment. I love them. And also they have a very unique texture and I want you to try to apply them on top of wet foundation. It's a game changer because they're not wet by any means, but they're not dry. Oh, they're delightful and so pigmented. So we're just gonna go beep, little baby whisper, and then watch that. So pigmented. And also applying it right now while we're still in a wet state means that if we do overdo it, we can blend it out so much easier. Isn't that pretty? Just that little bit. Beep. You have to do the sound effects. I'm sorry. If y'all aren't doing that, I don't want to hear it. Now this side did get a little bit too much, so let's just grab our concealer brush. Oh, good. A power saw. But that's what I was saying. You can just blend that really nicely. Perfect. And no surprise, these bronzers. I feel that with product development with these, they took their time. They had this beautiful vision and it's executed perfectly. And I love how red. Do you see how red that is? But again, beep. What, see? Just that tiny little beat. I'm telling you, it's so pigmented, but I don't want you to be afraid because that's why we're applying it in this state, because at this point we're not gonna mess it up. Look at how perfect that is. And I'm putting it here. I'm not chiseling, I'm continuing flow. C40 brush. Perfect. And then I'll just warm up my nose a little bit. Now we can set, but before we set, let's make sure that all of this concealer is all smoothed out. Anywhere that we're expressive, just kind of tap back over. And then we already have our powder right here. Got our puff. This is the Maybelline Fit Me, the loose powder. This is the one that I already tagged, but it's in shade Fair Light. Let me double check that one more time. Yes. And then we're just gonna press this in. And I do find that this powder runs a little dark, so Fair Light, normally I would never wear that, but that's the shade that I definitely wear in this. Even, look at how nice that looks. Look at, it's just so nice, and it's so affordable. Really press it in, it's gonna make a difference on how things wear. Delightful. 11 out of 10. Back to our eyeshadow pencil. Remember the one that we used, the very first one? Ooh, just a little definition. See that? Just makes the eyes look a little bit brighter. Back in with our mascara. Don't forget to move your head around. It really helps you. When we're just staring into one spot, sometimes it's a little bit harder, but like say you turn to the side, you can see these lashes really easily, kind of in the center, and then turn all the way over to get these on this side. Now accidents might still happen, but this can help. All right, let's move on to lips. Oh, the base looks so good. I think I'm sold, okay. I think I love this foundation. But let me get excited about it. You don't need to go get it yet. And also you don't really need a foundation if what you already have is working. That's not what we're here about, but I mean, I'm just excited because I've tried so many high-end foundations recently and I've been kind of just like, and they're like 40, 50, one's almost $60. And this one, I haven't looked up how much this one is, but let me go look. $6.88 on Amazon. I wear Perfect Beige. yeah, I'm kind of blown away. I'm excited. All right, so the next thing, we're gonna move on to lips. I love that with the leaf blower and the roofing. There's a nice table saw. It's nice. So, y'all know that I absolutely love these lip liners. The Maybelline Lifter Liners, 1,000 out of 10. 2,000 out of 10. I'm sure most of you have one now. If you don't, these are my favorite lip liners of all lip liners at the moment. I love them so much. Speechless. I don't know what color I want to wear. Now, I will say the one that I use the most from all the lip liners is the shade On It. It's kind of a neutral. It's not too cool, not too warm, and I just love it. I'm gonna go ahead and use this one because this one is just the one that I use the most. Maybe we'll do this one and a lighter one in the center as kind of lipstick, and then we're gonna do a lifter gloss because I bought new shades. Oh, I love this color. And if you do get this, I know that it has the plastic and that can be confusing. Please do yourself a favor and get yourself the NARS sharpener. Again, I know it's NARS, it's spicy price as opposed to just a regular sharpener, but I tried all the sharpeners. This one does not mess up my lip liners. Plus, just a few little twists and we're back in business. So, cannot recommend this sharpener enough. Not all tools are the same. I feel like we can get by with the makeup being on the more affordable side, but tools, I'm telling you, good tools make a world of difference. Let's use this shade. Which one is this one? We'll use this one in the center. Big Lift. Ooh, yeah, that's pretty. And they're so creamy that you can use them like this. And then I still have my glosses. We're gonna put a gloss on top. And then I'm just gonna take a little bit of my mixture here. I actually, listen, this is actually this concealer, but with powder. I filmed a video, so I'm taking it. And I kind of made a pot concealer out of it just by adding powder. So I'm gonna take that and just go around the edges to clean up. I had it out already and I'm like, you know what? We don't all want to buy a fancy, expensive pot concealer, so we can make one. So I filmed that. Now I bought some lifter lip liners. I don't know if these are new shades. I don't think I had them, but I like them. So I bought them. Aren't they pretty? Hang on here. Don't worry, that powder saw is still going. Ooh, look at that one. I wonder what that's gonna look like. I think it'll just brighten everything up a little bit. So the one I wanna use is 023 Sweetheart. And then here's the other ones. Look how pretty this one is. That is Moon. And then we have this one. Okay. That's gonna be Silk. Last but not least, how useless was that? I'm showing you with the barcode. Shade Stone. Now, after we add the gloss, this is going to transfer, but right now, look at that. They do not transfer. I love them so much. All right, let's take our shade Sweetheart, and we're just going to put this on top. Oh yeah, that's exactly what I had in mind. It's so pretty. Look, the lip liners aren't coming off on it. Yay. Ooh, this color's pretty. Okay. 11 out of 10. All right, we're all done. This is stunning. I feel like this would be so pretty. It's just like kind of a brightener. I love it. All right, my elbow. I hope if y'all do anything, y'all pray for my elbows at night. I love y'all so much. I saved yesterday's to my highlights already, that really pretty fall pumpkin-y look. Definitely gonna save this. I feel like this is a really good staple makeup tutorial. I feel like it fits so many different occasions. I feel like this is something we could definitely wear to work. Depending on where you work, I know some of us are able to be a little bit more creative, but sometimes we can't be as creative. And I wanna do makeup for everyone. I wanna be thoughtful. So I'm definitely saving this. I love this. I love this look so much. And these are some of my most absolute favorite affordable makeup items. They're so good. And I'm loving this foundation. I have a couple more videos that I want to film. I'm not sure how I'm gonna do it. I feel like there's a sledgehammer now. Maybe you'll hear that before. There it is. Maybe I'll just go join in. Just make a ruckus out there. I'm sure I can get a trash can going. Oh, it's so funny because I have a lot of stuff that I have in my mind that I want to film, and then that makes it a little bit more difficult. But what do? You just have to laugh at it. All right, I love you so much. I'm definitely going to post tonight, so I'll see you in the comments.